Round 3 and the conclusion of Rugby Championship 2023. A shortened Rugby Championship brings us to Emirates Airline Park, more colloquially known as Ellis Park. Hi everybody, my name is David Midgley. Alongside me is Otto Ozmaster Simon. Good afternoon, Otto.
Good afternoon, David. Thanks for doing this once again, and good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Thanks for joining us. We do appreciate all our fans out there, and we're starting a little bit early today just to have a little bit more time to discuss the squads and what's been happening to the Springboks. So let's start with the results that the Springboks have had. Obviously, the loss against New Zealand was very disappointing, but performances against Italy and England last year were very heartening. And then, of course, the first match of the year against Australia was a resounding victory for the Bokke. And then we went to Mount Smart and we got outsmarted.
Yeah, absolutely. A tale of two cities in Rugby Championship so far for the men in green and gold. A tremendous performance at Loftus-Versfeld. And then, like you said, we went down to Argentina, to New Zealand, Aotearoa, where we were comprehensively beaten by the All Blacks, who this morning trounced the men in the gold jersey. So congratulations to the New Zealand rugby team on their victory and their victory at Rugby Championship 2023. South Africa all coming down to their previous game, and the first 20 minutes we didn't really show up, did we, Artu?
Yeah, that game against New Zealand, we got blitzed. I was watching the replays, and I think we went on to the 53rd minute, and we still had only 3 points on the board before we scored that first maul try, almost in the corner there. And then it looked like the Springboks were on their way back. They were 10 points behind, and then just the final nail in the coffin by the Kiwis there. And what struck me the most, and we talked about this 2 weeks ago as well, is just the way that the Springboks didn't play to their potential. They had these little flashes of momentum and, handling the ball well, and then just mistakes and execution letting them down. And the key players didn't perform, except for Pieter-Steph du Toit when he came on, and obviously Faf de Klerk as well. They were the only. Yeah. Faf was the only one in the first half that really looked sharp. The rest were sort of neither here nor there, and you couldn't really blame the back line because they had almost no possession in the first 30 minutes of that match. So no chance for the back line to do anything at all, and just losing the ball at the breakdown, making mistakes that allowed the New Zealanders to just gain possession back whenever we sort of looked like we were trying to get back onto the front foot. They just smash us back. And the physicality of the Kiwi team in that match was quite impressive. I think that might have been a shock to the Boks system, because I heard some of the commentators mention that as well, that with the URC and the Super Rugby Pacifica, these teams are not used to playing each other like they were in the past. So Australia, some people were saying that Australia weren't used to facing us, but the Kiwis put that right. And I don't think the URC is an inferior competition. Playing against teams like Leinster and in the Champions Cup against the French teams, those are heavy hitters, and they've got big fat wallets. So they've got really impressive teams, and for the Stormers to perform as well as they did in both competitions was quite heartening. But then the Kiwis brought us back down to earth, as they always do.
Absolutely. Don't forget to like this YouTube video, subscribe, and ding the bell so that you can know when we go live. Once again, we're going to be bringing you every moment of Rugby World Cup to your ears, and we are absolutely privileged to bring you this game. How you can join us, besides just the YouTube channel, is Facebook as well. You'll be able to see us there, and you can find Ozmaster and Coach Dave 93 on Twitter. Remember that how we operate here is we commentate off of a screen. And so if you are a fan of us, please mute your local broadcaster and put us on, just line us up with the pictures, and you'll be able to follow along as we bring you the final game of Rugby Championship 2023. Some changes, 9 of them in the Springbok lineup, but let me run through the Argentinians to begin. Thomas Gaijo at number 1. He's partnered by the captain Julian Montoya and Francisco Gomez Cordella. A little bit of inexperience there for Cordella, but he's hopefully going to be guided, as is Gaijo, with Julian Montoya, who's been around long enough. Lucas Paulos will partner with Thomas Lavanini, experience and inexperience there. Pablo Matera, Santiago Grondona, and Juan Martin Gonzalez. Really difficult guys to fight with in that fetching position from Pablo Matera, 94th cap today. But Juan Martin Gonzalez really is good at line-out time, and he has been at Rugby Championship. Lautaro Bazan Velez gets a start today as they partner him with Santi Carreras, one of 2 Carrerases in the Argentinian squad today. 9 and 10 for them. Juan Imhoff and Mateo, the second Carreras, Mateo Carreras, are your wing partners for today. Again, experience with inexperience, but in the center, that's where we see some youth. Santiago Chacobares with Lucio Cinti, 11 and 14 caps respectively, with 24 caps in the number 15 jersey, Juan Cruz Malia. So 485 starting caps for the Argentinians today. The one that misses out is Boffelli, because he started 14 games in a row under Michael Cheika, and almost the guaranteed selection for a long time. But Chocobar is also getting his first start under Michael Cheika. Augustin Karevi, I think, Otto, the wise decision from the Argentinian management not to play his 100th game. He would have been the first Argentinian to make 100 caps. Wise decision not to play him at Emirates Airline Park, but rather play him in the somewhat return fixture next time we see one another in Argentina ahead of Rugby World Cup.
Yes, indeed. So on the total there, 485 starting caps versus 718 caps for the Springboks in the starting lineup. And it's interesting to see this selection by Michael Cheika. The sort of a blend of inexperience and experience. If you look at the bench as well, Ignacio Ruiz with only 4 caps at number 16. The prop replacements, Nahuel Tetas Chaparro, very experienced, and then Joel Sclavi with only 9 caps. Pedro Rubiolo and Facundo Isa will be your lock, sort of loose forward replacements. Gonzalo Bertrano, he's a scrum half, isn't he?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, so they've also got a 5-3 split on the bench, just like the Springboks, with Thomas Albornoz and Matias Moroni rounding out the replacements. Albornoz with only 3 caps. He's a young lad, very promising there for Argentina. So they're also trying to give players some game time. And if we look at the Springboks setup, we see some players coming back into the starting lineup. Let me go through the Springbok squad there. Steven Kickoff, Malcolm Marx and Frans Malherbe, the front row there. Kickoff with 73 caps, Malcolm Marx with 60 caps. And as you pointed out here in our stats pack that you prepared for us, that he will go and equal Skalk Burger's record of 16 tries for a Springbok forward if he scores a try today. He scored 15 tries so far. Jeben Etzebeth and Marvin Orri in the locking pairing there, and Jeben Etzebeth will become the first player to play 20 test matches against Argentina, the first Springbok to do that, and he will also match John Smith's, he will go past John Smith to become the 4th most capped Springbok, behind, who was it there? Victor Matfield, Tendai Tawarira, and
Victor Matfield.
And Brian Abana, not in that order. It's Matfield, Abana, and Tawarira, the first, second, and third. Marco van Staden, Pieter Stef de Tooy, Dwayne Vermeulen, the back three at the front there for the Springboks. Grant Williams gets his first start, you said, hey, for the Springboks at number 9.
Fourth cap for him.
Yeah, Manie Libbok, also only 5 caps so far, 6th cap today, which is a good indication here from the coaching staff to give Libbok a start, because he's been an absolute scintillating form for the past 2 seasons. So I'm very glad to see them rewarding form with Andre Pollard injured. I would have liked to see him start anyway. I don't know what Pollard's form was like in his, in his competitions that he's played in, because he's playing in Japan now, right? Or where's he now?
I believe
anyway, he's still injured.
Leicester.
Oh, he's at Leicester.
Yes.
That's right. Yeah, so he's in the English. That's why we don't see him, because they only play in the Champions Cup. But he's injured at the moment. I want to say hopefully he'll be ready for the World Cup, and not necessarily if Manie Libbok can do what he did for the Stormers in the Springbok jersey, then that'll be just fine. So moving on, Kurtley Arendse and Cheslin Colby, number 11 and 14. Kurtley Arendse also at the beginning of his career, also in great form for the Bulls. Damien Dalenda and Jesse Kriel back in the side. And as I said, the coaching staff for the Springboks, the selection committee, giving Jesse Kriel another start. He's playing in Japan for the Canon Eagles at the moment.
Yeah, much needed start.
So, he's been out of the team for a while, so I'll be very interested to see how he goes today. He might just be hooked off the field very quickly to put Lucanio Am in, who's on the bench, and then Willie Leroux at number 15, playing his 86th match for the Springboks today. Before we go on to the Springboks bench, the kicking, the goal kicking for the Springboks, with Damian Willemse missing a couple of kicks in the competition so far. They've given Cheslin Colby the kicking tee, and Faf de Klerk as well. So that's quite interesting. What do you read into that before we look at the bench?
I think that's the biggest reason that Manie Libbok has gotten a start today. They have confidence in his goal kicking abilities ahead of kind of not piece job type kickers. I think that, or piecemeal rather, that's the better word, kickers that we've had to use with Cheslin Colby. Whilst they do kick at club level, it's very different at test level in front of thousands of fans, be it home or away. And so I think they want to go with a kind of a specialist fly half, and then if need be, they can bring on Damian Willemse from the bench to cover multiple positions. They've gone with 5-3 on the bench, as you said. So I think that 6-2 traditional split has been put in there so that, like you said, there's a possibility of maybe Jesse Kriel coming off or perhaps being pushed out wide to the wing in order to give some space, or some room rather, for Lucanio Am, who's out of form at the moment. Magazola Mapimpi misses out, but boy oh boy, Kurtley Arendse is a tremendous replacement. The fastest joint with Brian Abana to get 10 test tries, just 8 games under his belt. It's an absolutely world-class start to a test match career, and he has taken the opportunity with 2 hands and superglued his hands to the opportunity.
Yes, indeed. So looking at the bench here, Bonge Mbanambi, Trevor Nyakane and Vincent Koch will be the front row replacements. We all know who they are. Kwagga Smith is on the bench, which I also think is a good thing against Argentina. It'll be a very tough physical battle, and he's not the world's biggest forward. So he did well against New Zealand when he came on, I thought. But not really shooting the lights out there in New Zealand. So let's see what he can do against Argentina today. RG Snyman, the final forward replacement. So he's on there for a lock replacement, giving the option to move Pieter Stef to lock if he comes on. And then Faf de Klerk on the bench. Good to see that he's fit to play, because he had that injury. He had to be replaced against New Zealand when he got tripped behind the ruck with no consequences. Lucanio, as we mentioned, is on the bench, and Damian Willemse rounds out the 23. And as I said, 718 caps for the Springboks. Some more of the statgasm that you prepared for us here, Coach David. We have played Argentina 34 times. We've won 1,193 points for the Springboks, 657 points against the Springboks. We've scored 140 tries against Argentina and conceded 62, with the highest score being 73-13. If you can remember where that was and when that was, hit us up on the Facebook and YouTube comments. We can see those here in our studio, so you can pop those in there at any time during the match. And the biggest win was by that 60 points, obviously, the 73-13. And we have an 88% win record against Argentina, but they have beaten us in Durban once. I think the other two, where was the draw? And the other two losses were in Argentina, if I'm not mistaken. And this is also the team that beat New Zealand last year.
So Salta and Mendoza. Yes, Salta and Mendoza are the two other times that the Argentinians have overcome the Springboks. 4-7 in the world so far, 5-0 in terms of head-to-head in the last 5 games. So South Africa dominating ahead of Rugby World Cup, but there's still 3 games for the Springboks. They are playing Argentina in Argentina, where we'll see Augustine Karevi no doubt make his 100th appearance, the first Argentinian ever to do so. Then South Africa on the 19th of August will play Wales at the Millennium Stadium, and a week later they take on the All Blacks at the home of English rugby, Twickenham. We will be live with you along the way. A raucous edition of Nkosi Sikelele of eAfrica will be forthcoming, I'm sure, as I'd probably say 70% full Emirates Airline Park, Ellis Park, not packed to the rafters as you would expect perhaps for an All Black or an Argentinian game. There's just some of the dignitaries meandering their way out to shake the hands of the players, and or to, with this being a World Cup year, the last time Africa went out to France for Rugby World Cup, they picked up the Webb Ellis Trophy and brought it home with them. But this time it might be a very different outing for them, because it is a group of death nearly, with Scotland, Tonga, Ireland, and Romania. So not so much the Tongans and the Romanians, but certainly that Irish squad is going to prove a challenge to us, let alone France and New Zealand in the cross-pool competition. Mario Juster is saying go Bokke, and good afternoon to you, Mario Juster. Don't forget that you can also support us on Patreon at patreon.com/OneWorldSR. Dwayne Vermeulen returns at skipper, and he will certainly be looking forward to putting on a performance. He has mentioned that it is his last game in South Africa for the green and gold, and it is the last home game for the season. So we would want to put on a tremendous performance, will the men in green and gold, ahead of that departure to Argentina, let alone the rest of the Rugby World Cup preparation games and Rugby World Cup. The bookies ought to have the Springboks by thoughts on that one.
Bokke by 17. That's some easy money on an under bet. I believe that's the correct way to put it. So I would go Argentina Argentina losing by less than 10 or less than 12. I think that's some easy money there. If the bookies are going 17 plus for Argentina. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I don't. Given my Super Brew performances, I stay away from sports betting things. I promised myself if I can get like a 95% margin point score on Super Brew, I might look at that again. But it does add some flavor when you're watching the game. Right, so 22 degrees Celsius in Johannesburg. No possibility of rain. There are some clouds about, and there's a cold front coming in.
Blustery.
Yes, wind about 22 k's an hour, gusting up to 57 k's an hour. Once again, thank you, Coach David, for this. And 10-kilometer visibility, 3 degrees Celsius dew point. But yeah, it's going to get cold pretty quickly there in Joburg when the sun is already setting here. So players will feel it a little bit cooler there on the field. Referee for this match is Andrew Brace.
Today.
Yeah. Andrew Brace of Ireland.
With the whistle. Assistant referees Nika Amashukeli from Georgia and Chris Busby from Ireland. The TMO today is Brett Cronin, who is an Australian, but the on-field officiating team is all Irish. It is a game that nobody wants to step a foot wrong, because it can so easily be a game to change the fortunes for either side. John Smith, Francois Pinault, and Siamtanda Kolisi are flag bearers for today, with a number of South African rugby legends in attendance this afternoon. They want to show their support for the men in green and gold. It is a packed dignitaries. Well, everybody wants to get their opportunity. Cheslin Colby will be relishing this opportunity. Remember that Francois Pinault, Siamtanda Kolisi, and John Smith are the only South African captains to have lofted above their head the Webb Ellis Trophy. The fireworks go off at Emirates Airline Park. This is a game that we do not want to miss a second of. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for being a part of our family. Les Faber saying thank you for your coverage. Look forward to a Bokke win, hopefully. Just before we do get underway, don't forget, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Ring the bell so that you know exactly when we go live. We're going to be bringing you every single moment of the Rugby World Cup from a South African perspective. Andrew Brace looking like he got some sunshine in his time here in South Africa. It is winter here, but like Otto said, it is a front end of a cold front. So the leading edge of a cold front tomorrow, looking like just 11 degrees of a maximum. But we've had a beautiful day today, and we are looking forward to some great rugby. This turf, Otto, you'll remember that a couple of weeks ago was covered in snow. They even managed to make a miniature snowman at Ellis Park. So credit to the Rugby Championship, the groundsman here at Emirates Airline Park to get this field into the condition that it is. We are certainly excited. We're running a little bit late, are the broadcasters, but I'm sure we'll get underway in just a moment. Looks like the Argentinians will be kicking off with the Springboks receiving. Argentina, as always, looking resplendent in their light blue and white stripes, horizontal, and the Springboks in the green and gold. And the Argentinians will be playing right to left, and the Springboks inversely left to right. The Impy looking like he's been hitting the gym hard this week, because boy, oh boy, is he fired up. We are super excited for this game, and we want you to please be the third commentator as we kick off. Santiago Carreras with the ball in hand, and he's just waiting on the referee. And here we go. Ball lofted high into the end to the far side of the park and collected by Grant Williams. Chased down immediately, and boy, he's been hammered inside his own 22. Springboks maintaining possession, thankfully for them, but the referee's blown his whistle, and there'll be a penalty on the 6-meter mark. Boy, oh boy, did he get smashed early on. We saw it in the Wallabies All Blacks game in the 3rd minute, where the number 10, I believe it was, for Argentina was also hammered. But it was a late tackle, hip to head there from number 6, Pablo Matera. An experience, it's rather not number 15, right? Juan Cruz Malia. And to me, it looks like there might be a card coming out there. I understand that he's gone to try and collect the ball, but it's a hip-to-head contact. It's something that he's got to hope is mitigating for him. What do you make of it?
Yeah, he went down like a sack of potatoes right in front of the referee, and there was a ruck formed right next to him, and the referee didn't stop the game. So I'm not impressed at all. This is absolutely absurd. So we'll hopefully see. You said it was Juan Cruz Malia who infringed there. He was jumping up in the air to
apologize.
to charge down the kick and just
Try and
smashed
collect the ball.
into the
Yes.
chin. The upper thigh, his upper left thigh, just went into the chin of Grant Williams there. Grant Williams immediately went down and was obviously knocked
It's already
unconscious.
gone off.
He's already gone off. Faf de Klerk, the medical team are there with the car on the field, with the golf cart there to collect Grant Williams, and Faf de Klerk is on the field inside 30 seconds. And that, to me, probably not a yellow card, because he did go for the, for the charge down, and he did charge the kick down.
The charge
But
down.
that should be a penalty. I don't know. That's just, okay. Maybe thinking about it now, removing
we'll have
my
to see what
green-colored
end of race does
glasses,
come up with.
it wasn't intentional. He did go for the charge down. He did charge down the kick, and he was just in the air. Couldn't control his trajectory once he jumped, and he just collected Grant Williams there with his body, with his thigh, and against the chin of Grant Williams. And Faf de Klerk is warming up on the field. He's let his hair grow out a little bit more, as Faf de
The
Klerk.
last thing
but
we
then,
want. Yes, yeah. Mini Thor. I think it's a concern for the Springbok setup, because, like you said in the build-up, they've given Grant Williams the opportunity ahead of somebody who perhaps may have been a little bit more of an incumbent, Jaden Hendrickse, but it was because of that fantastic performance that he has had in the previous two games. Damien Delenda and Jesse Creel, their 21st game together, and nearly the most capped centre pairing for South Africa, behind Jacques Fourie and Jean de Villiers, who lead that. And absolutely.
Yeah, so the referee
consistent here for the Springboks in midfield.
Yeah, so the referee there giving a penalty to Argentina, 6 meters out, as you mentioned, from the try line, and about 10 meters in from the far side touchline. With Argentina playing right to left, as you mentioned. So I think that penalty will stand, because, like I said, upon reflection, it's probably not a card or a penalty there to the Bokke, because that was a legitimate charge down. They're just showing some highlights of Grant Williams' URC season, and the speed that the man has will be missed in this game today. I was looking forward to seeing him and Mani Labok combining. And that replacement, Faf de Klerk, is on the field, so that'll be like for like, I guess. A little bit more experience from Faf de Klerk, but he was, as I said, one of the shining lights against New Zealand. We see another replay here that was just right in the kisser there. Grant Williams copping that right in the face. And he did move afterwards, so he might just be
we wish him a speedy recovery.
a little dazed there, but he's on the stretcher. Let's see if it looks like he did move around a little bit, but the referee really should have stopped the game right there. He let play continue right next to the injured player, and gave the penalty to Argentina. So we'll see if that penalty will stand or if it might be reversed.
His arms seem
I
to
think
be moving.
at worst you could say that was just reckless by the Argentinian fullback there, crashing into Grant Williams. But
It's a little bit late.
Yeah, just a little bit irresponsible. But I don't know. I'll have to hear
Mexican
what
wave
other people have
rolling
to say
around
about it, and
Emirates
then,
Airline Park, Ellis Park.
maybe watch it again. Thanks to
connoisseurs
Karen.
of
My
the game
daughter has offered me
discussing
her
tactics.
tablet stand here, but I'm fine for now. Thank you, my daughter. So Grant Williams departs Ellis
the
Park.
dream works.
Departs Emirates Airline Park, excuse me. We're also looking for sponsors, so we should be nice to the sponsors, and it will be Montoya, the Argentinian captain, with the tap and go for Argentina. No, it's 15 meters in from the far
Absolutely,
side
we wish
touchline.
Grant Williams a speedy recovery. speedy recovery, and we wish for Faf de Klerk all the best, is immediately has to come on and defend on his own try line. So 31 seconds gone in this game. Like you said, Julian Montoya will get us underway with the tap and go. Surprisingly not kicking for the corner, perhaps out of an opportunity to be fair to the Springboks. Into the Argentinian number 12. He's running up all the way to the line. Chocobara is there, looking for an opportunity. Are the Argentinians right under the Springbok sticks? Are they going to find a way through? Gaijel, pushed back by Jesse Creel and Marvin Ori. Again, looking for a way through is Lucas Paulos. Pushed back a little bit. Hard work here from Peter Steph du Toit to try and clean things out. South Africa looking like they may have come back out with it for a second, but they hadn't. Grondona. And advantage now for the Argentinians. Ball into the hands once again of Gomez Cordella. The advantage remains. Trying to push their way through the center of the field are the Argentinians. Brought down. Going through the hands. Oh, nearly an interception from Kurtley Arendse, but it's safely in the hands in the end of Juan Imhoff, and the referee's blown his whistle and said the Springboks were offside, so we'll go back for that misdemeanor from the Springboks. A little bit of ill-discipline, perhaps a bit of a shock to the Springbok system, but they've got to fix those micro errors early in this game and get out of that kind of funk that they may have been put into due to the early injury of their scrum half.
Now we're looking at a replay here, and it looks like some of the forwards there rushing up in defense to meet Argentina were offside, and the Irish referee there, referee Brace, indicating advantage, and Argentina have decided to take the 3 points to try and get the 3 points. And who's their kicker today? That will be Santiago Carreras with his first kick of the match. It's about 15 meters in from the near side touchline.
Yeah, that reminds me. Reminding me a little bit of that Nigel Owens interactions where they asked the Welsh referee, you know, we'd like the 3 points. He says, I can't give you the 3 points, but I can let you have a try. Hopefully that is a little bit more fruitful for the Argentinians. Just to the left of the uprights, and what you would imagine at test level, a fairly simple kick. Just sneaks it inside the left-hand upright, and we have the first points of the game as Argentina get 3 of them for that penalty. So just under 3 minutes gone, Argentina leading the Springboks at what may be the proverbial home of the Springboks at Emirates Airline Park in this final round of Rugby Championship. Just a reminder that it is the curtailed edition of a Rugby Championship purely because of the Rugby World Cup, teams wanting to prepare a bit of running repairs to one of the Argentinian forwards. An absolutely glorious afternoon. A little bit cold, but the wind is certainly something that will play a role, make an impact in these two sides. So there's just a bit of running repairs and a bit of tape put onto one of the Argentinian forwards. Looks like it's Gomez Cordella, and he will make his way back. Rather, Juan Martin Gonzalez. Just the 3s and the 8s look very similar on the back. Well, Mani ball in hand, and he's going to look to get us underway once again. High kick into the high felt sky, just inside the own 22. Collected and immediately smashed by Chisholm Colby, if that's such a thing as Luke Paulos. But Argentina collect the ball. Valles through to Carreras. Brought down in midfield is Lavanini. Will Argentina able to retain position? They do indeed. Carreras out and charge down. Jesse Creel with the ball, and he nearly dots it down in the in-goal area. Just a knock on there. So Springboks could have taken the lead, and South African fans with their hands on their head because they know how close that could have been.
Oh, that was so close. Jesse Creel just with the fingertips as he went diving after that ball after he charged it down. That'll be a goal line dropout now for Argentina.
Yeah, just falling out of reach. Yeah, just out of reach there, and collected now. Dwayne runs into a pack of Argentinian forwards. Faf de Klerk, too soft. Inside to De Allende, rather trying to find a way through. De Klerk again. Bokke with the cross kicks, looking for Cheslin Colby finds his man, but he's brought down about 12 meters in. He's knocked it backwards there, and there's an advantage for Springboks. Lebok almost at halfway again. Finally, a bit of clean ball there as Etzebeth takes it up to the 10-meter line. Kickoff in support. De Klerk comes towards us as Marvin Ori get the gain line and is pushed backwards there by Gonzalez. To the blind side he goes. De Klerk. Leroux with a high-hanging bomb looking for Curtly Arnser on the outside. Not cleanly taken by the Springboks, and it's picked up by Mateo Carreras. Springboks piling men into the ruck. Just inside the far side touchline. Argentina now with Carreras. Brought down about 15 meters in from the far side touchline over the 22-meter line. Bazan Velez looking for an option and sets up that caterpillar that we know is famous for box kicks from the back of the ruck. High hanging ball and comfortably collected inside his own half. Leroux. Lebok, flatter kick this time, almost a punt, looking for some vacant space inside the 22 near side of the park. Kicked away now by the Argentinians, looking to find no one at home, but they find Leroux, who's traversed the length of the field. Left-footed kick here from inside his own 22, and that'll go out just over halfway. So South Africa finding their rhythm a little bit more now, but with just under 6 minutes left, or 6 minutes gone rather, and not yet able to cross the right wash.
Oh, it was some good ball control there. No handling errors with some loose balls squirting in and out of the rucks and players diving onto the ball, getting the possession going. So good signs there in terms of ball control for the Springboks.
Quick one to the Argentinians. Going through the hands now, Carreras. Bit of a flop ball there, but managing to recover it is Pablo Matera. Ball going through the hands to the far side of the park. Through Imhoff's hands. And Argentina going around the blind side again. Changing directions now. Cutting back inside, but swamped by Springboks, who are resolute on defense. Velez rather, looking for a way to dig that ball out of the back there. He does so and sets up now for the box kick, looking for a chaser in Carreras, Mateo Carreras. Not really a confident catch there by the Springboks. Curtly Arnser cleaning up the knockback. Puff de Klerk, far side of the park. Men in hoops, ready to go. Malcolm Marks pushing his way up the line. Puff de Klerk looking again like he might set up a box kick. It's coming because Peter Steph de Toy is on the block. Curtly Arnser ready to try and chase that one down. Cuts back inside. Etzebeth not backwards it looks like, but Argentina are the ones who collect the ball. Frans Malherbe trying to get his way in there. Not able to do so. Argentina through the number 10, Carreras. Kicks it through South African defenders in the backfield. Leroux kicks it out off the left foot, near side of the park between his 22 and the 10-meter line. Not maybe the distance that he would have liked, but just over 2 minutes left until we change from left to right in our commentary box here, or top to bottom. Don't forget you can join us on YouTube by subscribing, dinging the bell, and then you can also join us as a commentator. Admin at 1WSR, if you feel like you're up for it, is where you'll find us, admin at 1WSR.com. Just follow the ticker at the bottom of the screen. It's just another change again for number 8, Juan Martin Gonzalez, because he had that blood earlier, and they just want to get rid of that off of his shirt. Michael Checker checking his WhatsApps on his watch, it seems. Perhaps his heart rate, because it's elevated in the first 10 minutes here. B-Boy Wonder saying Bokke must win, and hello, and he's subscribed to our channel, so thank you very much for that. And Ria Weideman is back with us. Hello guys, she says, and hello Ria, good to have you with us again. Line out to Argentina, just inside the 10-meter line of the Springboks on the near side of the field at Emirates Airline Park. Yeah, something we noticed in the All Black South Africa game is that Argentina were encroaching in that space of 0.5 meters between the sides. Massive tackle there, but they're able to get rid of it. Carreras through to number 13, Lucio Cinti. He's been quiet for the first, Cinti rather, has been quiet for the first 10 minutes of the game. Ball through the hands now of Carreras. Once again, a playmaking for the Los Pumas. Velez looking for options out wide as Carreras is brought down about 7 meters in from the touchline, and the South Africans are off their feet, not rolling away in that instance. Malcolm Marx, the guilty party, and Argentina getting the penalty. So 2 penalties now for the Argentinians. South Africa just slightly ill-disciplined at the ruck and tackle region, and they're going to go for the opportunity to take 3 points as Otto Simon takes us through to the 20-minute mark.
Slightly more difficult kick here. Malcolm Marx going in over the ball, but the referee saying that there was no release, no rolling away, by the tackler there. And then some afters between Thomas Lavanini and Malcolm Marx. That was quite entertaining. Put a smile on my face, that's for sure. So let's see what happens there, because Lavanini has a walking yellow card. Maybe Malcolm Marx getting in under his skin there, trying to provoke some reaction from the Los Pumas lock. So the kick is successful by Santiago Carreras. He moves the score on to 6-0. Argentina lead with 10 minutes played in the first half. And this Springbok side not getting enough possession in the first 10 minutes. Manie Libbok has the ball now in the middle of the park with the kickoff. And he goes to the near side once again. It's going to come down just inside Argentina's half, where it's picked up by Juan Imhoff. And he's tackled. He flicks it back, and some pressure here by the Springboks coming through. Argentina with the ball on their 5-meter line, carried up there by Carreras, the number 10, right in front of the poles there. And it's an advantage to the Springboks now. Faf de Klerk looking for the ball. Marvin Orre sends it out to Van Staden into the hands of Malcolm Marx, who connects with Imhoff now, who drives him back in the tackle. They're back on the 5-meter line, just to the right of the uprights. And Faf de Klerk is there. He sends it now to the far side of the field. Manie Libbok, dummies, goes inside. He's got Kickoff with him, and he makes it to the 5-meter line once again. Faf de Klerk has the ball, but the referee says no, that's no advantage there. As Ieo Castro says, "Go Argentina!" We've got some RGs in the house here, some Los Pumas fans. That's great. Thank you very much for joining us. We hope you enjoy our green-colored commentary here, our Springbok favoring commentary. It's a penalty to the Springboks, just in line with the left-hand upright, right in front. And Manie Libbok says, "I'll have a go at the 3 points to make it 3-6 to Argentina, who lead 6-0 right now." And it was good pressure by the Springboks there after the kickoff. There was a penalty for holding on there by Carreras as Kickoff went in there to steal the ball. He was holding on, playing the ball on the ground. And so Ieo Castro says he's from Chile. I hope I'm not butchering your name completely. So buenos dias and welcome. That's about as far as my Spanish goes, and the rest of it I can't repeat on air because that's what I learned from Cypress Hill. Manie Libbok sends this one over the upright, in between the uprights and over the crossbar, and it is indeed 3-6 South Africa against Argentina at Emirates Airline Park in Johannesburg.
Yeah, South Argentina with trying to get over the ball there. Was Stephen Kickoff, and South Africa just selecting to go for the 3 points. Maybe just calm things down a little bit when you're behind by 6 points. Maybe the right decision is just to select the easy selection and go for the 3 points.
Carreras with the kickoff into the hands of Dwayne Vermeulen, who storms up just short of the 22. He's brought down on the far side of the field. Faf de Klerk is there, and the irritating caterpillar maul gets set. I do hope they get rid of that. And he will, with the left foot, be looking for a kick there, and he goes with that option, and there's an immediate penalty to the Springboks. See what the referee's signal is here. Offside is the call. Andre Witz on Facebook says, "Go Bokke." Thank you, Andre, for joining us. And if you're at work, if you are away from your lounge, you can tune in and listen to our audio watch-along commentary. And if you are at home and you've had enough of the usual broadcasters, you can just mute your TV pause it for a minute or two and listen to our watch-along commentary here for this test match, and indeed all of the Springbok test matches. We're going to try and cover all of the ladies' Springbok test matches as well, if we can. And we're still looking for more commentators to do the cricket. Right, so the throw in by South Africa after that penalty kick is rather scrappily taken up by, looks like Kwagga Smith is on the park there. Frans Malherbe gets the ball now from that ruck, and he goes forward up to the 10-meter line almost of Argentina. Faf de Klerk has the ball now at the back with the kick over the top with the left boot. It's going to come down 5 meters from the far side touchline, 10 meters from Argentina's try line, and Carreras is there with the mark. And he will no doubt send it over the far side touchline for a South African lineout. Let's see how many meters he can gain for Argentina there. 14 and a half minutes played with the right foot.
A little bit like Kwagga Smith.
Oh, yes, of course. Okay, so he managed to get that over the far side touchline, 10 meters line of the Springboks, but Willie Leroux carries it up to the middle of the park, up to the halfway line. That's Kurtley Arendse in possession now, tackled behind the gain line, but the support is there. Flying tackles in there from Argentina. Frans Malherbe knocks the ball on in the middle of the park, 5 or 6 meters inside the Springbok half, and he said, guys, I've had enough, I want a scrum. That'll be the first scrum of the match, and let's see what the Springboks can do here, because I was also surprised by the Springbok scrum performance against New Zealand. That's something we didn't talk about in the build-up before the game, so let's see what they can do against Argentina. So it's just to the near side of the middle of the park. You can see the middle. It looks
like he just lifted his eyes ever so slightly in reception of that pass from Faf de Klerk. So he'll be wanting to improve that. But boy, oh boy, if he gets off to a mean, grisly start here, I worry for the Argentinian front row.
So Bazan Velez has the ball for Argentina, and it's a free kick to Argentina for early scrummaging by the Springboks. So there you go. That's the result of the first scrum. And
why does he take that long to blow the free kick? You can't say to me that he didn't see it immediately. Early scrummaging or early engagement is a blatant one immediately. Why do you wait until the scrum gets going? He's about to feed it, and then the comment comes of early engagement. I don't
high up and under by Carreras, and it's knocked forward by Argentina into the hands of Kurtley Arendse, who's held up in the tackle by Lucio Cinti. Faf de Klerk has the ball at the back, sends it to the near side. Willie Leroux into the hands of Eben Etzebeth, who bumps off one tackle and strides over the 10-meter line of the Springboks. Faf de Klerk has the ball quickly, looking for space around the fringes, but he's brought down just short of the halfway line. Mani Libbok now goes to the center of the park with Malcolm Marx carrying it up. In support, there's Etzebeth. Faf de Klerk is there. The Argentinians might have strayed offline. Mani Libbok with a chip over the top, right in the middle of the field. Kurtley Arendse there with a tackle, and Peter Steph du Toit as it was Cheslin Colby. And yes, the referee did pick up that Argentina were too quick out of the gates there at that ruck, and they were caught offside by the fake there by Faf de Klerk. So it will be a penalty to the Springboks. Just to the near side of halfway, and just about 2 meters inside their own half. No, a meter inside their own half, as Mani Libbok takes the mark there in front of the referee, and he's going to step onto the halfway line, which also shouldn't be allowed, and he sends the ball over the near side touch line, about 10 meters inside Argentina's 22. And let's see what the Springboks can do here from the set piece. Cue them all. And the
absolutely
16th,
we spoke about in the build-up of Juan Martin Gonzalez. He's been a nightmare for some of the opposition teams at line-out time, poaching in the air. So the Springboks want to be certain of this line-out.
Marx with a short throw to Eben Etzebeth, back to Marx, and they onto the 5-meter line of Argentina. Pick and go here by the Springboks. 15 meters in from the near side touchline, the ball goes out to Steven Kickoff. He's got 2 meters to go to the try line. Faf de Klerk out to Damian Dalende, who struggles to maintain his position. Good body position there in the tackle. Faf de Klerk now 1 meter out from the Argentine try line. Willie Leroux to the near side they go. Eben Etzebeth on the wing, and he's over! He's got the try. 10 meters from the near side touchline. Eben Etzebeth just says the bus is full. Walks over yet another Argentine defender, and it's the first try of the match to Eben Etzebeth, the Springboks, his 5th international try.
Yeah, Thomas Gajo saying there was a tackle there that looked a bit suspicious to him, but maybe just trying to get the referee to be super sympathetic to him. But just having a look at that, it was a great bit of hands there from Villaroo. Collect and off he went. And like you said, Etzebeth wasn't going to make the mistake so close. Showing the class of an experienced winger there in getting over. Great bit of work there from South Africa's captain 2 weekends ago.
Yes, and 2 great carries to give the Springboks that momentum. The final one going over the try line, that was amazing by Eben Etzebeth. Mani Libbok now with the conversion attempt with the right foot on the far side touchline. It's about 5 or so meters in from the far side touchline. And let's see what he does with this one. He's already succeeded with the easy penalty right in front. Slightly more difficult kick, but he's lining it up. Steps forward now and strikes it. It goes high up into the Joburg sky and just to the right of the right hand upright, and the score remains 8 points to 6. South Africa lead by 2. 20 minutes played, and the next 10 minutes play-by-play will be Coach David Midgley.
Yeah, thank you, Otto. What a wonderful try there for Eben Etzebeth. I'm sure his late father will be very proud, and he'll remember that try for a while, no doubt, when he showed the men with scrum caps on the outside of the field of play how to make sure that you get over. Change now for the Argentinians, and Thomas Albornoz is making his way on the park there. I think it was Carreras, that was the number 10 Carreras, that was taken off. Knocked on there by the Springboks, and that means that there will be an Argentinian penalty. Yeah, it was Santiago Carreras that was run over by Eben Etzebeth, which means he takes his time to go off. Whether or not it'll be a concussion replacement or just a head injury assessment, so would it be a permanent substitution or just one until he's had his test? We'll have to wait and see. Scrum time now. Last time the Springboks were the early engagers here, and I think Andrew Brace will want to keep an eye on that, make sure that everybody is following the rules. It'll be a feed for the Argentinians. So 4th cap for Thomas Albornoz as he takes over the playmaking duties at fly half.
I do apologize. I did forget that we can.
Belez.
Yeah.
No worries.
Go.
Belez at the back of the scrum, not really going anywhere.
Yes.
South Africa looking for a bit of a second shove. And that one comes now as the Springboks absolutely trounce the Argentinians at scrum time. A little bit of fumbling there from Chocobares. Brought down by Kriel, partnered with de Klerk, who's on his feet once again. Argentinians running into a brick wall of green and gold. Looking for something is Marco van Staden, not going to find it. Lavanini with the ball. Montoya taking it up into contact. Velez. Bazan Velez looking for an option. High into the air goes Albornoz. Looking for an opportunity to maybe upset the Springboks. Veliluru takes it outside his 22. Bit of an ugly throw there, but in the end, Mani Lobok with a great kick and an excellent follow-up from Cheslin Colby. You were saying?
I forgot that I can actually highlight the comments that we're getting on YouTube and Facebook here on the feed. So apologies for all the earlier commenters. Try time. Go Bokke, says Mario Juster. Thank you so much for that. And let me give some highlights here from our comment section on YouTube and Facebook. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening. We do love hearing from you wherever you are. And that was a great scrum by the Springboks there on the second shove, as you mentioned. You see a replay of that now. 23 minutes gone. 8 points to the Springboks, 6 points to Argentina. And yeah, we have some Argentine fans. There's no Argentinian, it's only Argentine. And yeah, we have another one, Rebecca.
And, a Chilean.
Oh, I'm going to butcher your surname, ma'am. Rebecca, I'll stay with that. Listening from Cambridge, UK. So glad to finally find a way to listen to the rugby. Yes, audio commentary is back, baby. And Amanda Hendricks also saying, go Bokke.
Yeah, we don't. Absolutely. Right, throw now looming for Julian Montoya, the Argentine captain. Looking for a jumper. Will they go to the middle? They do. Lavanini collects. Away to Vélez. Albornoz. Lavanini looking for some options here and there. Breaking away now. Are the Argentinians down the outside? Can they be brought down by the Springboks? 8 meters outside of the Springbok try line. Taken into contact by Lavanini. He's all over here today. And the referee's blown his whistle. It'll be a Springbok penalty. And just not releasing there. Malcolm Marx, like white on rice, not allowing the Argentinians to get consistent play.
Oh, great stuff there by the Springboks. Good defense. Aggressive defense. It looked like Argentina might outflank the Springboks there as they sent the ball to the far side touchline, going around the fringes, but Malcolm Marx securing possession there for the Springboks, getting the well-deserved taps on the back from his captain for today, Dwayne Vermeulen. So good work there by Marx, and he's got the ball for the line-out throw.
Yeah, at far side of the park, just inside the 10-meter line. Pieter-Steph du Toit with the collection. More forming now. Marx at the back of it. Pieter-Steph willing his men on there. After Clark only stepping now into the picture. Marx is pushing hard there. Will he get the breakthrough that he's looking for? And brought down in the end, in between 10 and halfway for the Springboks. Out to Kurtley Arendse, trying to find his way through. Runs into Vélez. Paf de Klerk to Pieter-Steph du Toit. Paf de Klerk again inside. Now, Ibn Etzebeth breaks through the line there. And it's going to be stolen here by the Argentinians. No, the referee's blown his whistle and said, right, let's go back, fellas, because I wasn't happy with the absence of rolling away there from number 4, Lucas Paulos. At breakdown time. Yeah. So the Springboks will have a penalty now, just inside their own half.
Yeah, that was for collapsing the ball there by Argentina. And yeah, rightly so, because they had no other way of defending that maul. Springboks would have walked that all over half the field, all the way to the try line if they had let it go. So they had no choice. Also a little bit of swimming around the side there, ref. But
yeah,
in the end,
pointing that out to referee and Brace.
Yeah, and Lavanini, to his credit, did let go and tried to regroup to the back, but then his teammates already had collapsed them all. So on the far side of the field, 7 meters out from the Argentine try line, the Springboks have a line out with Malcolm Marx.
Marx looking for a jumper. Will he go to Ori? Looking like he will set it up, and Dust goes near side to Marvin Ori. More time for the Springboks. Remember, we said that Malcolm Marx is looking for that try to extend the record, to go ahead of Skalkberger. A couple of backs joining in. Jesse Creel, Damian Dalenda. The Springboks edging forward, and they're over! 26th minute, yes! And the Springboks have their second try of this game. Malcolm Marx, no doubt, will come out off the top. Or was it Damian Dalenda? The screen seems to think that it was Damian Dalenda. And he might be the one credited with the try. Nevertheless, Springboks 13 points to 6.
No, indeed, it was Damian Dalenda who ended up crashing through there, going to the blind side, and only Bazan Vélez there, the number 9 for Argentina, in his way, and crashed over that man to score his. That will be his 10th try for the Springboks, Damian Dalenda.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice Lebok now having to perhaps redeem himself from the missed opportunity earlier in the game. 50% 1 from 2 is where he has been this afternoon. But as we said in the build-up, the wind has really been blustering up in the Highveld, and he'll want to make sure that he makes recompense as he sets up his usual kicking routine. Not quite as dramatic as Dan Bigger of Wales. Somebody's crossed their arms. Maybe that's their luck or their talisman that they believe is successful for them. He kicks it, and up the flags go from the assistant referees, and South Africa have another 2 points rather to their score, 15 points to 6, as we head towards the half-hour mark and the final 10 minutes of this encounter. South Africa really on the back foot early with 6 points to 0 is what the Argentine team led by. This one, far side of the park, collected by Marvin Ori, not cleanly though, but the South Africans maintaining possession. Vermeulen on the ground with the ball, and Peter Steff over top. De Klerk to Eben Etzebeth, who's really been good with ball in hand this evening. And there's no doubt a box kick coming here from Faf de Klerk as the Caterpillar sets up. Dummies to us because it's gone to Mani Lubbock, and Willie Leroux has knocked it on here about 7 or 8 meters from his own try line. The pass wasn't great from Mani Lubbock, but you've got to make sure that you collect, particularly when you're just in front of goals.
Aish. Yeah, and Andre Witz also saying, nice one, need more tries, Bokke. Thank you, Andre. And you're welcome to send your comments through to us here on Facebook and YouTube, which we'll see here in our virtual studio. And thank you very much, everybody, for listening along and watching along with us. Just about 10 minutes to go, 15 points to 6, South Africa lead, if you're listening only. And if you just joined us, where the hell have you been?
Glad to have you with us for this final round of Rugby Championship. Don't forget to like and subscribe, ding the bell so that you know when we're going live. 5 meters out from the Springbok try line. Feed for Bazan Velez as Otto Simon takes us to halftime.
Scrum here for Argentina, and great defensive effort needed here by the Springboks. Let's see if they can dominate the scrum once again, and they do immediately. This time Argentina get it out quickly, and it's into the hands of the back line. Couldn't quite see who was there. Bazan Velez, once again. Some strong carries there, but it's a penalty to the Springboks. 6 meters out. That man, Steven Kickoff, once again getting over the ball and forcing the penalty into the favor of South Africa.
Absolutely menacing at breakdown in this Rugby Championship. He's holding his shoulder, perhaps in that instance there, but boy, oh boy, was he on top of it immediately and stealing the ball away there. It looked like Lucas Paulos was the man who was in possession of the ball there, but
yes.
Daylight robbery. Somebody called the sheriff's department because that was larceny.
David Niven Willems is saying Dwayne is the stablest Springbok captain. He's blessed above the rest. Indeed, David, his last game here, he's announced that this will be his last game for the Springboks in South Africa. And
good to see Grant Williams on the bench.
Sad to see him go. Grant Williams is back on the bench. Yeah, he won't be able to take to the field again because he has been replaced, but good to see that he survived all the ding-dong tests and all the scans. Maybe he might be going for a few more on Monday or tomorrow. And Mani Lubbock sends the penalty kick over the far sideline. This assistant referee on the far side has the flag up on the Springbok 10-meter line. And so we see a string of penalties now. 3 penalties against the Springboks and the next 6 against Argentina. Malcolm Marks with the throw on the far side of the park. Springboks playing left to right on our screens. Marvin Ori gets it out of the hands of the Argentine contesters there. And now into the hands of Kurtley Arendse. It goes with a cross kick. Grubber over the near side touchline. It'll be a line out to Argentina, about 6-7 meters inside the Argentine half with 8 minutes to play in the first half.
I told you that Juan Martin Gonzalez is going to be a problem at line-out time, and he's proved me right, thankfully, because menacing there at the back, disrupting Marvin Ory. Thankfully, South Africa's lock forward able to collect.
Short line-out attempted there by Argentina, but the referee says no. He's not happy with the set of the line-out. Montoya passing it straight to the man at the front. And then again they go for the same ploy. Malcolm Marx is there, but he's driven off that maul by the support players. And the Caterpillar, once again, the players setting for Bazan Velez to send the kick high. It's going to come down just about on the 10-meter line, gathered by Cheslin Colby, who sends it wide to Mani Libbok into the hands of Willie Leroux, and Jesse Kriel carries it into the 10-meter line of Argentina on the far side. Willie Leroux now with the pass to Mani Libbok, another cross kick, now this time to Dwayne Vermeulen, who tries to stay in field, but he steps over the line and is very disappointed in himself there. And the referee's assistant on the near side quickly stepping in between Cheslin Colby and one of the Argentine players there. 7 minutes to go in the first half. Mani Libbok admonishing himself. That was just not the perfect execution with that cross kick. It went a little bit too far, and Dwayne Vermeulen almost managing to shake off the attentions of probably Juan Imhoff there at the on the left-hand wing. Mani Libbok already kicking
Santiago
4 times
Carreras.
out of hand. Santiago Carreras was a number 10.
Carreras back on the field.
Yeah.
He's back on the field.
So
Sending Thomas Albornoz back onto the bench. Throw now for Montoya.
yeah, and it's collected by Argentina as they go up there, and maul is set. The Springboks holding it firmly in place. Kickoff goes in, and it's taken to the near side by Montoya, and he makes it a few meters forward as that is the number 8 Gonzalez setting up the next one pass ruck move here for Argentina this time. Bazan Velez is there at the back with the right foot kick. Ball goes high up into the air, and it's Cheslin Colby coming forward, and it's over the back of his captain, but Argentina have it, and they're storming forward on the near side touchline. Along the near side touchline, they're on to the 10-meter line of the Springboks, finally brought down. Passed out to Lavanini, who's tackled behind the gain line by the Springboks. And it'll be a penalty to Argentina as Dwayne Vermeulen's attempt to roll away goes into Bazan Velez, interfering with the scrum half, and that will be a penalty to Argentina inside the Springbok half with 5 minutes left to play.
Yeah, Springbok captain in the previous run of play there. Yeah, it just looks like somebody's getting a bit of a blood replacement. But the Springbok captain there, first he collects the ball wide and is thrown out. Then in a box kick that Otto described so tremendously well there, he didn't communicate with Cheslin Colby, who was running onto it to try and collect it, perhaps quickly answer. And then in this instance, not getting out of the way quick enough as they zoom in on Rassie Erasmus and South Africa's golden boy, Siamtanda Kolisi. So a little bit of a hold up in play here with the clock having stopped because of the blood replacement needed. Hopefully they can treat him very quickly.
Yeah, Montoya looking like he stuck his head into a garden shredder there. He's got a horrible cut above his left eye. It looked like it gathered some grass as well. As Carreras, number 10, Ignacio Ruiz, excuse me.
No, you're correct. I was just saying Ignacio Ruiz has come on for Julian Montoya, who was bleeding.
Yes, bleeding profusely from his head. And Carreras sent the resulting penalty over the near side touchline. Argentina will have a line out just outside the 5-meter line of the Springboks on the near side of the field. So it's that man Ruiz now, number 16 for Argentina, with the throw. And it goes to the front of the line out. Maul is set, but the Springboks managing to disrupt it a little bit and send the maul to the near side of the field. The ball is loose and gathered by Malcolm Marx. And it's Faf de Klerk now with possession for the Springboks, 10 meters from their own try line. And he goes through the middle, around the fringes, over the 22, and he's brought down about 10 meters past the 22. Colby is there. Mani Labok sends it to Damian Dalende, who steps inside, tries to make some meters into the traffic. Ruiz tackles him in the middle of the park, just short of the Springbok 10-meter line. They hand it off to Peter Steph du Toit, who makes it over the 10-meter line, but it's knocked forward by Steven Kickoff as Peter Steph du Toit tried to offload it to Kickoff, and there's a penalty to Argentina right in the middle of the park. That must have been for an accidental offside, as that ball was knocked on.
Knock on. I think the referee's clean missed that knock on. Maybe his TMO or his assistant has just kind of quickly jumped into his ear to say there's a knock on there from Steven Kickoff, because really it was all South Africa there, and in trying to hand that ball off, Kickoff was perhaps surprised with the intended recipient, or becoming the intended recipient of that ball. So Santiago Carreras will now have a goal kick in front, but some distance or two.
Yeah, it's just, it's a practice kick, really. He's already kicked 2 from 2. Mani Labok has missed 1 of the 3 attempts he's had so far. But Carreras with another easy kick here by international standards, I must add. So right in the middle of the park, just inside the 10-meter line, and he sends this flying through the high-felt air, and the flamethrowers burst into life as he sends it over the crossbar in between the uprights. 15 points to 9, South Africa lead with 2 minutes to play. So let's see what the referee indicates here. I can't see what that was for. I think it was just an accidental. Must have been an accidental offside, or something along those lines. Labok with a kickoff to the near side of the field, right on the touchline. Peter Steph du Toit is there, making the tackle, and Argentina have possession. Release there to Lavanini, who takes it up just inside the 22, and Bazan Velez is there once again with the caterpillar at the back, and sends this one high. Bit of a further kick inside the half of the Springboks. Willie Leroux passes this ball to Dwayne Vermeulen, who goes over the 10-meter line and is tackled 60 meters in from the near side touchline. Faf de Klerk fumbles the ball a little bit, and there's an injured player for Argentina. Faf de Klerk indicating to the referee that the man needs attention, and that is the number 4, I think. I recognize his hairstyle there. Lucas Paulos went down there, and Faf de Klerk indicating to the referee very sportingly that he's had an injury, but now they're twisting his body, and now at last they're holding his head. They're trying to get him onto his back. He went into the tackle of Dwayne Vermeulen with his head in the wrong place, right in the force of the contact, and it went down right away. The maul formed right on top of him, and I think he was knocked out cold there as well. So a good work there by Faf de Klerk, who just fumbled the ball, but indicated to the referee that the man was injured, making funny noises probably as he was snoring there on the Ellis Park grass, on the Emirates Airline Park grass, and hope he's okay. But rather bizarrely, usually I was taught that you keep the guy as still as possible and you roll the man onto his back, but they were twisting, the medical staff were twisting his body and keeping somebody was keeping his head still. So I hope he didn't have some kind of spine injury there that might have been aggravated by the medical staff's action there. Just calling it as I see it in real time. Hopefully he's okay, like I said. But you don't touch somebody if you think that they might have a head injury or a spinal injury. You keep them as still as possible, and if you move the body, you've got to move the whole thing. You've got to keep the spinal cord straight as you roll someone over. Maybe he was gasping for air or struggling to breathe. I don't know. But the medical staff are there. The car is on the field, and let's hope that Lucas Paulos in his 12th game for Argentina is okay. But good play there, fair play by Faf he just immediately indicated to the referee, no, somebody's needing attention here. We need to stop the game. And
Pablo
Glenn
Matera
now
with his 19th game today.
saying, "Go
against
Bokke!"
Springboks.
Matera.
Absolutely. Thank you
So he's
for
on
your
the field
support.
now.
So yeah, Matera, he is on the field, and him and
yes.
Lavanini very close to one another in terms of the number of test appearances versus the South Africans. But it's the Argentinians who play second and third to Eben Etzebeth, having played his 20th game against Argentina today. Like you mentioned in build-up, 112 caps to his name, and really showing his experience and hunger for a good performance here for the Springboks. But some fans just enjoy the vibe at Emirates Airline Park as we just have a break in play for that head injury to the number 4, Lucas Paulos. His curly locks kind of giving him away, allowing us to see what's going on. But he's the second head injury today, Otto Simon. And rugby prides itself on safety and making sure that they are, at the forefront of safe play for all. But today, there's been 2 of those serious head injuries.
Well, up to a point. It's a full contact sport, so the rules are quite strict in terms of where you can make contact with the player, but your head sort of sticks out above your shoulders. So, and it was a bad tackle technique by Paulos there, to be fair. You've got to keep your head away from the contact, so make sure that if you're tackling somebody, you're not putting your head in between the contact and the rest of your body. You've got to make the contact go away from your head. That you taught from an early age if you are a rugby player. So maybe just got caught off guard there by Dwayne Vermeulen smashing through the other defenders, and he was forced to make the tackle and just got himself into an awkward position there. And his head got smashed. And he went down immediately. Looked like he went to sleep. As he went down, he was already sitting down as he tried to tackle Dwayne Vermeulen, so it was a really bad position for him to be in. Is that Danae van Niekerk? It's a lady that looks a lot like her in the crowd there. Let us know where you're watching from. Who do you think is going to win and by how much? The Bokke lead by 6. With about a minute to go in the first half, we're waiting for an injury to be attended to for number 4, Lucas Paulos. He's on the stretcher. He's being hoisted onto the car there. Once again, they're just dumping him on there like a sack of garbage there. Heavy contact with the car as they put him down. So not great there by the medical staff at Emirates Airline Park. I'm not impressed, eh? If that were my player or my family member, I'd be quite irate. They've got him strapped into the stretcher, but they basically just collided with the car there as they put him down. So hopefully he's okay. For no lack of effort by the medical staff there. I didn't see how they handled Grant Williamson, but he was back on the bench. But sure, that's not a great look for the staff there at Emirates Airline Park. I must be honest.
Possession and territory fairly even across the 2 sides this afternoon, and each side winning all of their lineouts. South Africa yet to have their own feed to a scrum as Lucas Paulos gets applauded by the Springbok players as he makes his way off the park. So we'll just see who does make the replacement there. It could be Facundo Issa, who is the replacement for Lucas Paulos. We'll just have to wait and see what the indication from the sideline is. They do have a man on the park. We'll just maybe see if we can squeeze a number in.
1 minute to go,
We'll let you
and
know
it's a
as soon as we
scrum
can
to the
catch
Springboks. This time it's a much better scrum defense by Argentina as the Springboks now go forward with a second shove. They're looking for the scrum penalty, and they will get it. No, says the referee. We'll have a reset of the scrum. He's not happy with the way the Springboks scrummed the heads of the Argentine players in between their legs.
They did get a penalty for it. I think they just shifted as opposed to wheeled. And I think he was looking for more of a wheel rather than just strafing. That's probably the better word.
Yeah, they were sort of crabbing along to the side instead of going forward, so he wasn't happy with that. But Montoya is back on the park for Argentina, the captain.
Yes.
So let's see. This reset scrum time
Still
is
waiting
up
for
in the
who
first
that replacement
half.
of Lucas Paulo is.
15 points to 9 is the lead for the Springboks. And another steady start to the scrum. Springboks trying to milk the penalty, but this time Faf de Klerk sends it to the far side. Damien de Allende wrap around for Mani Lebok into the hands of Willie Leroux, into the hands of Kurtley Arendse. He's over on the far side corner. Is he over the far side touchline? The Argentines are remonstrating. They think he was tackled out. Kurtley Arendse not celebrating a great deal. He's so used to scoring tries anyway. Let's see a replay here. His foot touches the line. He's definitely out. But what a run there by Kurtley Arendse. Almost getting another 5 points for the Bokke as they go into the sheds. 15 points to 9. And good scrummaging here by the Springboks. That was something that Jock Nienaber called for before the match. I heard him talking before the match started, and he asked for a good scrum performance, and he's got that. Got a few other boxes ticked as well. No relenting from the Springboks. Attack and defense has been awesome. 3 mistakes, yielded 9 points for Argentina, and the rest has just been domination by the Springbok forwards. What do you think, Dave?
Yeah, absolutely, and just a better performance from the Springboks. Hopefully they can just iron out those micro issues as they head into the second half. We will be back with you as soon as this break is done, and we hope that we're able to bring you every single moment of the action of the build-up to Rugby World Cup and Rugby World Cup. If you want to join us, please do like and subscribe on the YouTube channel, as well as the admin at 1WSR.com if you'd like to join us for commentating. My name is David Midgley, and alongside me is Otto Simon. We'll be back with you very shortly.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the One World Sports Radio broadcast of the South Africa-Argentina game. Halftime entertainment on the broadcaster was Mkharive's Sister Bokina, which is a remix of what is colloquially known as the South African national anthem, Sister Bettina. Nevertheless, we are grateful to have you on board with us. If you can do so, please like and subscribe to our channel. Like this video, subscribe to our channel so that we can bring you every single moment. If you want to support us financially, we will be certainly grateful. Admin at 1WSR.com if you're looking to advertise, as well as patreon.com/OneWorldSR. My name is David Midgley, and joining me for the next 40 minutes as we continue our stint here is Otto Simon. Otto, what did you make of the first half performance?
Yeah, it was very physical as we anticipated, and the Springboks really great on defense. You can't ask for more.
Lebok getting us underway here as the Springboks get possession after knock-on from Navanini. Ori, Willie Leroux, sorry to cut you off there, Otto. Malcolm Marks in midfield, just coming up to the 22-meter line. Ori running the dummy, but not really working for the Springboks. Dalende in midfield, cuts past one, breaks past the other, and is brought down short of 22. De Klerk, Willie Leroux. Van started on the outside, but referee's going to call it back for no arms tackle from a Springbok.
Springboks playing now from right to left. And they've got the penalty in the middle of the park. Looks like just outside the Argentine 22 there.
Yeah, it looked like a bit of a no-arms tackle there from Marco van Staden. It looked like there might be a slight argy-bargy from the teams, but now the Springboks are getting a penalty. Julian Montoya remonstrating with the referee, and he's not happy with it. So it was rather the Springboks who were the ones tackled without arms. Yeah, they will get the penalty. Moni Lebok kicks to the near side touchline in between 22 and the goal line. Julian Montoya with a no-arms tackle. Just having a look at the replay here, or to walk us through it.
I've struggled to keep up with to sync up with you, but it looked like there was a pass back.
Tackling the ball.
Yeah, so then that
Marks
might be the
finding his recipient in Ibn Etzebeth. Maul collapsed, and the referees thought about blowing his whistle, and the Springboks are the ones who are penalized this time. Great bit of work there from the Argentine front row, and in the end it's Santiago Grondone who is the hero of the day, as South Africa having the turnover against them. 42 minutes and 15 seconds gone in this game. 15-9 is where the Springboks lead. It'll be a scrum now, and Argentina will have the feed.
Okay, I think I'm synced up with you now. So apologies for that. There was a one-pass ruck there set by the Springboks, but then as the player was tackled, the ball squirted out. So it might have been a deliberate knockdown or something that caused the penalty, but as it is, scrum to Argentina.
Yeah, referees just saying that they're going to have to reset there. Looked like it went down on the side of Peter Steph Tutoy and Francisco Gomez Codella. And the referee just tamping down the field where they did collapse. Just a slip of the foot perhaps on the surface. Immaculate condition is how this surface finds itself. We haven't yet found out who has replaced Lucas Paulos, but as soon as we get the opportunity to let you know, we will definitely do so. Set once again for the ruck. 43 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock. Referee calls bind and set as the feed comes from Vélez. Stationary scrum, and the Springboks get the penalty. Argentina collapsing, and it was Frans Malherbe dominating there. Van der Klerk gets held up centimeters from the try line. Springboks throwing men in. Malcolm Marks, is he there? I think it may have been held up just a fraction away from the line. Marvin Ori. Peter Steph picks it and goes, and the Argentine men are celebrating as Marvin Ori knocks it on with less than a kitten's whisker away from the try line, and he's upset with himself, and rightfully he should be.
Yeah, that could have been ruled knocked back as well. He just didn't manage to control the ball. He was swamped by two tacklers there, Marvin Ori, just centimeters from the try line. Twice for the Springboks. They're on attack, and some relief for Argentina once again, but perhaps not so much because they'll have to scrum against the Springbok pack, and they haven't been looking so flash in the scrums, have the Argentines. And now some medical attention for that must be either Tetas Chaparro or Schiavi.
It's Cordella that's getting the love from the medical team.
I see. Gomez Cordella. He's the number 3 for Argentina. We've got some attention there. Clock is stopped at 44 and 30, and now it's being continued once again as the medical staff leave the field. So good to see the player is okay and ready to receive some more punishment from Steven Kickoff is the number 3. Gomez Cordella.
So we'll have to see how the reset goes. 5 meters out, and you almost imagine that Santiago Carreras will be the recipient of a deep pass to try and kick it out of their in-goal area. Velez.
If they manage to keep the scrum up.
Retain it. Yes, yeah. Set by referee Andrew Brace. Big scrum here by the Springboks. Really dominating. Picked up out the back. Brought down 10 meters from the try line by Damian Jalende. Trying to get forward momentum there is Chocobares. Now the Argentine pack can set up for a box kick. Nearly chased down there. And that one's gone out. So the South Africans will have the throw. Arke Sneeman warming up there. And you might imagine that it will be Marvin Ori who makes his way off the park. It is indeed. I called it.
Nice one.
And the Viking replaces the scrum-capped man of the DHL Stormers. Marks here. Looking for a recipient. Finds Peter Steph du Toit. Marco van Staren out the back. Finds an on-running Dwayne Vermeulen. Faf de Klerk. Looks for and finds Arke Sneeman. Ball pops out backwards to Libok. Libok looks to go to the far side. Cuts back infield. And is driven backwards by Pablo Matera. On halfway. Faf de Klerk. With Peter Steph du Toit. Cut in half there wonderfully by Choco Barres. Malcolm Marks trying to get over the gain line, and he's brought up short with halfway. And the South Africans have been penalized as Pablo Matera on top of the Springbok forward Malcolm Marks there. And we can finally confirm it's Pedro Rubiolo who is in place of Paulos, who went off in the first half.
So he gets his third cap for Argentina, does Pedro Rubiolo. Yeah, good work there by Matera. Over the ball, in the middle of the park, just about on the dot. And Argentina will set the line out. Let's see which way they go. Oh, no, they're going for poles. They're going for the 3.
Yeah. Bang on halfway. Santiago Carreras. Great day for him with the boot thus far. And you spoke about Pablo Matera, 94th cap today. Really experienced, and all of it coming to the fore there in that instance. But Carreras eyeing up the poles, 52, 53 meters.
Mm-hmm.
Hoofs it and just missing the uprights to the left-hand side from his point of view. So the South Africans will now have a 22-meter dropout in the hands of what looks like Moni Lebok, but he might. So
Yep.
it was Faf de Klerk that had the ball, and Moni Lebok is now the recipient. Just 2 minutes to go in the first 10 post this halftime break. High in the air, not really collected cleanly by anyone. Looked like it was knocked on there by Bazan Velez. Referee happy with it, and so Matera at the back has some support from Santiago Carreras. Lavanini taken into contact with Kickoff and Malharba. Velez to Carreras, who hoofs it high, but not really getting the distance perhaps he wanted, and that goes out on the full, despite a great catch there by Mateo Carreras, and they will have a line-out where the ball was kicked out between 10 and halfway. Really not happy, the South Africans, because of that behavior there from Mateo Carreras. Tetas Chaparro comes on for Gaijol as well.
Zelda Pretorius on YouTube saying go. I assume she means go Bokke. So thank you, Zelda.
Just inside the 10-meter line of the Argentines. Springboks pushing forward here. 30 seconds left before we change voices. South Africa struggling here with maintaining possession because they're having to throw men in at the breakdown. Faf de Klerk with high-hanging ball. And that will be a mark called, no doubt. Good catch there by Santiago Carreras. And he'll kick it out from the mark.
Yeah, a little bit too far there, slightly too far for Kurtley Arendse. And Carrera sends it over the near side touchline. It's going to be a line out to the Springboks. Just inside the 10-meter line of Argentina. Playing from left to right on our screens at the moment. Cynthia Barber on YouTube saying, you can do this, Bokke. Thank you, Cynthia, for your comment coming through there. Oh, no, it's a line out to Argentina. So that ball might have been touched. And it's Lavanini who gets it. And they quickly throw it out there to the back line. Do Argentina on the 10-meter line. Bazan Velez with the kick. It's going to come down just inside the 10-meter line where Kurtley Arendse has it in possession. He's driven back violently, almost to his own 22. Faf de Klerk now back behind the 22. Malcolm Marx makes it over the 22 on the near side of the field. 12 meters from the near side touchline. And Wendy Miller asking, where can you watch it? You cannot watch it. You can just listen to us as the box kick is collected by Argentina on the near side of the field, just inside the Springbok half. Violent defense there by the Springboks. Argentina going to the near side. Kick is charged down to the middle of the park where it's in the hands of the Argentine number 8. He is struggling forward to the Springbok 10-meter line. The ball goes to the near side of the park now. Through the hands go Argentina with their number 8 making some meters when he's finally brought down. Bazan Velez with the throw to the middle of the park. Argentina swarming forward into the 22 almost of the Springboks. Going to the far side once again. Springbok rush defense coming up, but they've managed to get the ball through the hands there. Do Argentina. They're on the 5-meter line of the Springboks. Lavanini storming forward, breaking through tackles. 2 meters short from the goal line there for Lavanini as he goes down. Ruck formed now for Argentina, 15 meters from the far side touchline. They go to the middle of the park. They're tackled 3 meters out. Bazan Velez once again to that number 8 man, and he's short as he tries to dot the ball down. Pick and go by Argentina on the Springbok try line. Good defense here by the Springboks, keeping the Argentines out. Smashing hit by Faf de Klerk once again. And Kickoff is over the ball, trying to get the steal for the Springboks, and he does so. That's a penalty to the Springboks with Stephen Kickoff over the ball. Argentines off their feet, and Stephen Kickoff going in there, surgically removing that ball from the ruck, and it's a penalty to South Africa. Wow, exceptional defense there by the Springboks. Very well done. Yeah. That number 8 from Argentina is Juan Martin Gonzalez, by the way.
Absolutely. Manic defending there from the Springboks, and a great presence of mind from Steven Kickoff. His second turnover won this afternoon. I wonder how much longer he'll be having on the park, because South Africa only bringing on Argentine Snyman so far and Faf de Klerk as well.
Yeah, it's just hit after hit, and then we see the Argentine players in support off their feet, so they're out of the game. Steven Kickoff reaching over, and that will be Kurtley Arendse, it looks like, being replaced by Lucanio Am, and as you called it before the game, Jesse Kriel will go to the wing. So well done there, Coach David.
Good to see.
Thank you so much
Damien
for
Dalenda
listening, everybody.
And Lucanio M together back again as well.
Lucanio Am with 22 on his back. 52 minutes and 48 seconds. The clock is stopped. It'll be a penalty to the Springboks right in front of their own posts, 5 meters from their goal line. And they'll no doubt go to the probably the far side touchline to try and see if they can get out of the danger area here. 15 points to 9. The Springboks lead. Team's just taking a quick water break with disruption in play. For some reason, the referee has stopped the clock. Not sure exactly why. There is some attention to an Argentine player. Can't quite see who that is, but Manie Libbok has the ball under his arm, and he's going to probably kick this to the far side of the park. Springboks playing right to left, remember, on our screens. And he does so now. Great looking kick. The flag is up on the 10-meter line of the Springboks. Great relieving penalty kick there by Manie Libbok. He's just going from strength to strength and being rewarded for form in the URC. And that sends a great message to the other players. If you play well, the coaches will select you and you will be there. Malcolm Marks with the throw on the 10-meter line of the Springboks. Argentine Snyman goes up as the maul is set. And Juan Martin Gonzalez tried to disrupt the line out there, the number 8 for Argentina. But the Springboks maul is quite static now. Faf de Klerk with a left-footed kick. The ball doesn't get quite the distance. It's going to come down just on the halfway line. Collected by Carreras, the number 10 for Argentina. And it is still that man, Bertrano is on the park. Yes, I thought it looked a little bit different. The high box kick goes up. Manie Libbok collects just outside his 22. He's got some solid support there. Faf de Klerk to the midfield. Argentine Snyman flicks it back up to Malcolm Marks, who steps past one over the 10-meter line. He gets brought down to the middle of the park. Willie Leroux into the hands of Marco van Staden on the halfway line. Faf de Klerk picks it up to the near side of the park. Lucanio Am just skips along the sideline, but he did put a foot in touch, and he got injured there as well as he tried to jump over the tackle and keep the ball in play, but he's fine. Just a little bit of attention now to him there. Seems to be okay. So he put his foot on the line as he tried to jump over the tackle, and then got a grass cutter tackle there as he jumped over from the number 14, Mateo Carreras, the other Carreras. Landed on his shoulder, but it seems to be okay. 55 minutes played, 15 points to 9, the Springboks lead, and Marco van Staden has been replaced by Kwagga Smith. Will definitely have to have some work done on his nose when his rugby career ends. It's a question mark on his face, is that nose. So Facundo Issa is on for the number 7 for Argentina, and the ball is knocked back from the line out, but the referee is not happy there. Can't quite see what the decision is there, if it's a penalty kick or a free kick.
Encroaching South African. Looks like...
closing the gap, it looks like. But, the referee, you can't see the indication. It's a penalty kick. Carrera sends it with the right foot, banana kick over the near side touchline, and the Argentines will have a... it was a
binding before he's landed.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
binding onto the support players before the player has landed. If they'd let that go, they would have gotten the penalty for obstruction there, the Springboks, because the players were in front of the receiving player in the line-out as he came down. But Argentina have the line-out possession, and Carreras in the middle of the field pops a short pass, but it's brought down in the middle of the park outside the 22. And it's the number 14...
Carreras.
storming through there in the middle. 10 meters out now, Argentina. Lavanini with the ball. Punched back in the tackle behind the advantage line. Argentina storming forward once again. They make it almost to the 5-meter line. And Faf de Klerk comes around and tackles the scrum half, but the referee is not happy with that after he picked up the ball. So Argentina have the advantage. They swing the ball wide now to the near side. And it's the number 14 for Argentina who gets tackled by Faf de Klerk once again, but he gets himself out of position in the tackle. There's another advantage now for Argentina. They go to the middle of the park once again, struggling to get through the Springbok defense. The ball is set in the middle of the park, and it is number 21, Bertrano, who struggles to get the possession from that ruck. And there's a bit of afters once again, pushing and shoving between Bertrano and Malcolm Marx. And I think the referee will just calm them down. Luckily for Malcolm Marx, that's all for now. He has a chat to Bertrano as well. Not rolling away is the call, and it's a penalty to Argentina. 10 meters either way from the Springbok try line and the near side touch line. Santiago Carreras, the number 10 for Argentina, will send this over the touch line on the near side of the park, and it'll be a 5-meter line out to Argentina. So Faf de Klerk with the bear hug tackle, and just went down on the wrong side of the ruck. Couldn't get out of the way. Well, it's a good tackle, smothering ball and all, getting rid of the option to release or to pass. Bonge Mbanambi on for Malcolm Marx. Steven Kickoff is off and replaced by Vincent Koch, and Malherbe is also replaced by Trevor Nyakane. So, ball not set by Argentina. Peeling around the back goes Matera, and he's a bit isolated, and Kwagga Smith gets the steal, and the referee says knock on by Argentina before the steal was made. So that'll be a scrum to South Africa, about 20 meters, 16 or so meters from the near side touch line, and 5 meters from the field. Yeah, Kwagga Smith just ripping the ball out of the hands of, sorry, that was number 8. That was Juan Martin Gonzalez, who went storming forward there, peeling off the back of the maul. Argentina not willing to set the maul against the Springbok defense, and that will be another scrum. And exactly what the Springboks want. They've been very good in the scrum so far. So, Vincent Koch, Bonge Mbanambi, and Trevor Nyakane back from his injury. Is Trevor? Good to see him back on the park. Heavily strapped ankles, though, both of them for Trevor Nyakane.
Yeah.
Faf de Klerk spinning the ball in his left hand like a pro. And he's feeding the scrum.
Good to see how
now.
Nyakane goes there in the first scrum. Massive opportunity.
Solid scrum here by South Africa. They're inching forward, but Dwayne Vermeulen picks it up, goes to the near side, gets rid of one, gets tackled by the second, and he is almost up to the 22. Vincent Koch now going through the middle and sets the ball well back with Faf de Klerk. His left foot is ready, and he kicks it now to the near side of the park. It's going to come down over the near side touchline, and this line out will be set for Argentina just about on the Springbok 10-meter line. It's been excellent defense by the Springboks. Absolutely unbelievable. So the next 10 minutes, Coach David, here you go.
An hour
Get us another
played,
2 or 3 tries, my man. Come on, man.
Absolutely. An hour played in Johannesburg. Montoya looking for his recipient and finding him again, but the referee blows the whistle and says the Springboks, no, the Argentinians, somebody's made an error there at line-out time.
Pulling down.
Referee Andrew Brace just having a conversation with Dwayne Vermeulen. Just a bit of a clarity there, and Montoya having a word. So the referee initially indicating a right arm for an Argentine penalty, and they will have a go for poles. About 15-20 meters in from the near side touchline on the 10-meter line, and an opportunity for the Argentine scorecard to look a little bit more nearer to the South African score. 15 points to 9 as an hour has gone in this encounter. Remember that Argentina coming off a fantastic win against the Wallabies last weekend. 3-point difference between them, but they'd had a run of 3 losses in which they lost to New Zealand, Scotland, and Wales. A famous victory against England as well by just a single point. Santi Carreras lines it up, thumps it, but I think it may miss the upright here, and it does indeed miss the right-hand upright. So he's had a little bit of a struggle here in the second half with kicking, but he'll want to redeem himself if next he gets an opportunity. And the South Africans just requesting the ball. It'll be a 22-meter dropout. Moni Lebok with a ball in hand. It's a full game of 4-5 to Clark. Remember, 30 seconds was how long it took for Grant Williams to be removed from this game. Good catch there by the Argentines. And Ibn Estebeth saying, is he onside? Am I offside? Am I out of where I need to be? But in the end, fortuitous from him. South Africa able to quell the maul, but not to the satisfaction of referee Andrew Brace. Thought about kicking it, rather blowing the whistle. Bertrand did think about kicking it, but held up now by Jesse Creel and Kwagga Smith in between 10 and halfway. Santi Carreras inside to his number 15 Malia. Brought down just over halfway. Lavanini. Gonzalez runs into traffic with Gomez Cordella. Bertrand again, blind side, looking for options. Backwards knock from the Argentinians. Looking for a way through is Cordella. Brought down by Koch. 5th phase now for the Los Pumas. Box kick looking to be set up here. High hanging ball inside the 22 of the Springboks. Good catch by Dwayne Vermeulen, and he's shouted mark. I suppose if you hang on to his arm, you can have a time challenging that, but he's tapped it, gone, and given it to Willie Leroux, who's thumped it over the far side touchline. Good bit of awareness from Willie Leroux, because he could so easily have been smashed backwards there, and then the South Africans would have been under pressure. 62 minutes, 45 seconds gone in this encounter. South Africa still leading by 6 points, so this game is by no means done, and by no means the blowout that both Rugby Forecast algorithm and the bookies had in mind. Argentine throw. Montoya looking for a jumper. He nearly, I think, he's dispossessed, but Argentina may be able to retain it and go through with some fortune. Ignacio Ruiz collecting the ball, rather Sclavi with the ball. Held up in midfield by Damien Delende, really making life difficult for Pablo Matera. Are they able to get it out here? Bertrand swinging pass to his center pairing. Chocobaras and Shinti. Looking to try and steal it is Jesse Creel, but not able to do so. Ball out wide to Carreras. Mateo Carreras smashed back by Kwagga Smith. Jesse Creel looking to cause a bit of a nuisance there. Santi Carreras to Lavanini. In the midfield, brought down by Nyakane and Archie Snyman. Santi Carreras. Looks like it was knocked, maybe. Cheslin Colby trying to pounce on that loose ball, but not able to get in time. Argentina really not structuring themselves well enough to have a flowing move. And in the end, the Springboks gained the penalty. Great bit of work there from the Springboks. It was number 11, Juan Imhoff, who's guilty there. And the Springboks have already thumped it downfield into some vacant land. Chase for them. Brought down in collecting the ball are the Argentines. Cheslin Colby looking to swamp the men inside. 2 meters out from their own try line. Lavanini taking the ball. Arges Neyman looking on, but it's Kwagga Smith who gets himself involved. Pick and go from the Argentine backs. Into contact. Inside their own goal. Number 13 kicked away. Lucio Cinti. Collected by the Springboks. Out, but they're not going to take the quick throw.
Absolutely murderous defense by the Springboks. The Argentines are going to start, they're going to start not wanting to touch the ball, because every time an Argentine hand touches the ball, there's 2 or 3 Springboks swarming over them. Bongi and Bonambi now with the throw on the far side touchline, on the halfway line for the Springboks.
Just 15 tackles missed by the Springboks. That was an interesting type of line-out. Wasn't the intention, I don't think, at all. And it looks like there was a bit of a knock-on. I'm not quite sure what was the idea there, with just no jumpers involved, and we've thrown it to a man in the line-out who's caught it by sticking his paws out to his left. And I think that was just a basic error from the Springboks, trying to catch the Pumas unattended, or rather unawares. Scrum time.
Yeah, I think Faf de Klerk knocked it on. Yeah, I think Faf de Klerk knocked it on as he was trying to collect that ball that was knocked down. Skinny J Productions, one love, mate. Ja bless from Durban. Ja bless, Ja guy.
Big scrum here for both sides. Second shove coming a little bit too late for the Springboks. Moroni on the park for the Argentines. Taken into contact is Tetaz Chaparro. And Kwagga Smith interfering with the scrum half, which means the Argentine will have a penalty advantage, and he's kicked it straight into the hands of Jesse Creel, but unfortunately there was already a penalty advantage.
Yeah, when you see Faf de Klerk rucking people off the ball, that just tells you the physicality that the Springboks have towards this team, and the attitude they have. Veskus Genetics says, roll one up, bless up. There we go. That's the way, man. Thank you so much for all your support.
Kicked out on the far side, and it'll be closer to the 22-meter line. 67 minutes gone in this encounter. South Africa still yet to score. In the last 10 minutes at least, I was tasked with giving us 2-3 tries, but South Africa have just done nothing but defend for my time on play-by-play. Montoya seeking out a jumper. Finds Matera at the front. Ball going through the hands now for Shinti. Nearly intercepted there by Mani Lubbock, and it's free. Springbok swarming at the breakdown, sensing an opportunity not to be the case. Collected by Moroni, who's cleaned up by Montoya. Breaks through one tackle, breaks through a second. Ball away to the far side. Faf de Klerk picks it up. He's got all the space in the world. Mani Lubbock on his outside. South Africa are going to go over 22 meters, 10 meters, 5. And the Springboks through an intercept have another try. 3 tries now for the Springboks. 20 points to 9. The conversion to come.
Pressure, 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 pressure. That's what pressure does. The Springboks with the excellent defense being rewarded. Like I said, every time an Argentine touches the ball, there's just Springboks everywhere. It's just a green flood forward in defense. It's just unbelievable defense by the Springboks for the last 15, 20 minutes. It's absolutely mind-blowing. It's impressive. It's wonderful. Loving it. Loving it.
First international try for Mani Lubbock. He'll be well pleased with himself. Good partnering between the half-backs there. And made no mistake to dot it down against the run of play. South Africa defending well, but certainly, like you said, the rush defense is the reason for their success in that instance. 70 minutes nearly played, as Otto Simon will take us home.
Veskus Genetics Moni, yo, mother, yo, something like that. I hope I said that right. Thank you so much for the comments coming through. We love doing this, and thank you so much for listening. The best way to support us is to listen and let your friends know. If you can't get in front of a TV, you can listen to us. And if you are in front of a TV, mute those bastards and switch on to our commentary. As Mani Libok converts his own try, it's 20 points to 9 and 10 minutes to go on the dot in Johannesburg. And I'm so happy for Mani Libok. He's been so good in the URC. He's led the Stormers to a title and a runners-up prize in the URC.
Middle.
And in the Champions Cup, they made their presence known. So that's, debut season win for the Stormers in the URC. So short kickoff here, and they do manage to get it back to Argentina. Very tough for them to get some clean ball. They go to the far side of the field, and this is some more ferocious defense here by the Springboks as the Argentines try to set something up in the middle of the field. It's gathered by Lucanio as the ball goes backwards from an Argentine hand in the tackle. Kwagga Smith at halfback. Mani Libok now on the far side sends it out to Jesse Kriel. He steps once, gets it out to Cheslin Colby, who tries to step around. Peter Steph de Toy goes through the tackle, sends it to Jesse Kriel, who lost it forwards. And I think that will be a line out to Argentina on the far side. And Skinny J Productions saying, Yes, I'm a Bokke. Vescus Genetics saying, now we're clapping them from the other side, Axe. Indeed. So Peter Steph de Toy did step over the line there as he tried to keep the ball alive. Couldn't quite step out of that tackle. So it's a line out to Argentina on the far side of the field, just inside their own 10-meter line. They go up to Lavanini. The walking yellow card hasn't conceded one yet. They're going for Pablo Matera in the middle of the park. He's held up by Kwagga Smith on the 10-meter line. Betranos to the fly half, who sends this one to the middle of the park with a kick. Cheslin Colby gets the ball from Willie Leroux, gets back to the halfway line and keeps his feet. The ball goes backwards. It's scrappy, and it's outside the back for Argentina, who tried to get that ball back, and it's knocked forward. And then Faf de Klerk tries to avoid contact with the ball, but the referee is going to say, listen, we need some Springboks off the field. He's going to send Damian Dalenda off the field for a deliberate knockdown. And Springboks leading by 22 points to 9. I think that was the signal by the referee. So with 8 minutes to play, Damian Dalenda will be off the park for the rest of the match. So let's see here. Replay as... the referee saying that Damian Dalenda knocked that ball down deliberately as the 22, Thomas Albornoz, the scrum half. No, he's not the scrum half. He's the backline player, but he tried to pass the ball to one of his support players and got knocked down by Damian Dalenda and the replacement fly-off, excuse me. Right, so it's fake maul set there by Argentina. Inside ball to the right wing, coming through the middle, right in front of the posts. They're 10 meters out are Argentina as they go. One pass ruck now. Betranos, the scrum half, out to the first receiver, and it's almost to the 5-meter line, but the Springboks attack is once again ferocious. To the far side of the park they go. And it is some more excellent defense here by the Springboks. Argentina getting tackled behind the gain line. Betranos to the number 20, trying to punch it through is Issa, trying to punch through once again. Argentina tackled back by Dwayne Vermeulen, very strong in the tackle. To the far side they go, the short side. Carreras to his Imhoff, his number 11, who gets tackled on the 5-meter line. Lavanini going through the 5-meter line, but held up by Peter Steph de Toy and others. To the middle of the park they go, once again towards the near side, tackled in first possession are Argentina. Carreras, the fly half, tackled by He tries to get the steal on, but the Argentine support is there. The number 15 now out wide and tackled 2 meters short, and it will be a try to Argentina at last. They get one back. It's 14 points to Argentina, 22 points to the Springboks with 6 minutes to play. And we have some more comments here on YouTube. Vusi and Corsi saying, go Bokke. And Skinny J Production saying, let's go boys. Barney Loubser saying, go Bokke. Thank you so much for all your comments coming through. We love it. And apologies for not studying the Argentine bench too much. But it is the number 14, the other Carreras, Mateo Carreras, who gets over despite the attentions of Faf de Klerk and Arge Snyman, and gets the ball down for Argentina's first try in the 75th minute. With the kick to come, the Springboks have a lead of 8 points. 22 points to 14. Santiago Carreras has missed a few kicks after slotting the first 4. He will try and convert this try. And he gets it off to the left as he was heavily bothered there by a South African player running through. Looked like Cheslin Colby maybe, or Kurtley Arendse, as he's got quite a long setup to his kick. As soon as the kicker moves forward, of course, the defending players can storm up and try and disrupt the conversion. So they did that successfully. 22 points to 14. 4.5 minutes left in the game. And Weskus Genetics saying, vat die bal weg soos jy 'n visser van 'n vet laaitjie afvat. Ek like daai alliterasie daar's. Nice Afrikaans poetry almost there by Weskus Genetics. Thank you so much. Kickoff by Mani Libok. And it's a weird bouncing ball. Argentina right back on their 5-meter line. I think that was Batranos who kicked it, but it's on into the half of Argentina, into the middle of the park. Mani Libok goose steps, and he's tackled in the middle of the park. Faf de Klerk is there to the far side. They go Trevor Nyakane, low body position. Takes 2 men to get him down, and he gets out of that first tackle situation. Faf de Klerk to the far side. Willie Leroux to Vincent Koch, who rumbles forward with the help of Bongi Mbonambe. Faf de Klerk to Willie Leroux, to Mani Libok, who cross kicks now to Jesse Kriel, who gets tackled 5 meters from the near side touchline, just outside the Argentine 22. Surely that's a penalty to Argentina for holding on. No, there's enough support there by the Springboks. Faf de Klerk with the back. Ball at the back, going back to Trevor Nyakane, 15 meters in from the near side touchline, 2 meters from the Argentine 22. Willie Leroux tries to side through, but he's tackled. Faf de Klerk is there. They come to the near side. Eben Etzebeth gets the contact. He goes up to the 22. Faf de Klerk gets the loose ball out to Trevor Nyakane, who rumbles forward. Almost tackled and then tackled. Faf de Klerk to the short side. Faf de Klerk with a short kick over the top. It's a mark by Carreras, the number 10, as Lucanio Am was right there with him. He taps the ball. He sends it to the middle of the park. Now it's the number 15 for Argentina running to the far side of the park. They're up to the 22. They're over the 22. It's Imhoff. Imhoff on the far side. He's over the halfway line. He kicks it forward. And it's a foot race now. Over the 5-meter line goes the ball. And Cheslin Colby is forced to dot it down inside his goal area. And that was almost a breakout try there by Argentina. 2 minutes left to play. Great play by Argentina. Great counter-attack. Almost getting themselves back into this game. But it will be a 5-meter scrum, I think, because Cheslin Colby was forced to carry this ball over the try line and forced to dot it down in his own try line. And Flam van Tonder says, come on, Bokke, let's take down the Argentinas. 2 minutes left to play. The Boks lead by 8. So if Argentina can get a converted try and maybe do something special here in the last 2 minutes, they can sneak this one. They can sneak a win here. And Damian Willemse is on the park. He is replacing who? That probably looks like Willie Leroux, yeah. Springboks still with 14 men. Damian Dalenda is off the park. So let's see if Argentina can snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. But it will take a special effort the Springboks have had an enormous defensive effort in the past 30, 40 minutes. They've been absolutely amazing. More comments coming through here. Let's go, boys, says Skinny J Productions, excuse me. And Argentina with a scrum. This is a better scrum from Argentina. Are they going to get the scrum penalty? No, says the referee. Once again, he doesn't like the sideways movement, this Irish ref. So he's going to reset the scrum with the Argentine put in. That's a great battle there between the forwards. And it looked like Nyakane won the battle there at tight head for the Springboks, at loose head for the Springboks, excuse me. The scrum is set once again on the 5-meter line of the Springboks, about 20 meters. No, it's exactly 15 meters from the far side touchline. Alvino says we're going to win, boys, on YouTube. Thank you, Alvino, for listening. Thank you for your comments coming through. We do appreciate it. And it's a scrum set here. Very steady this time by both sides. It's harassment by Faf de Klerk at the back, but the referee says no. It's a knock-on by Faf de Klerk as he almost got the ball out of the hands of the number 8 there, Gonzalez, for Argentina. No, it was the replacement scrum half, Bertrano, who got harassed by Faf de Klerk. As he wrapped his arms around Bertrano, the referee said, "You knocked it on, son." And it's another scrum to Argentina. And there's 5 seconds left on the clock. Alvino asking what's the time. We don't have that on our scorecard, so apologies for that. So it's game over as a contest. Can Argentina get something here? Maurice Kannemeyer saying Faf messed up. No, my friend. He absolutely stopped that attack. Sacrificed it with a knock-on call. And Argentina have the penalty advantage as they storm forward once again, met by fierce defense by the Springboks. They're back on the 5-meter line. Bertrano to Lavanini, who's tackled back by a wave of green jerseys. Bertrano into the hands of the prop. Number 17, tackled by Nyakane. They are just to the left of the uprights, tackled behind the advantage line, this time by Damian Willemse. Are the Argentines. They've got the advantage. Bertrano to Pablo Matera, tackled once again behind the advantage line by Peter Steph de Toy. Now they go to the far side once again. Carreras, the number 10, trying to side through the middle. Stephen Koch gets him. But they go through over the try line. Can they get it down? The referee says no. There's a held up try there for the Springboks. Offside, says the referee, on the 5-meter line. Penalty to Argentina. They won't win the game. But can they get close? This performance won't win a World Cup, says O'Neill van der Westhuizen. We need to be better. That might be true. But that's enormous defensive effort here by the Springboks. And Skinny J Productions. One love. Thanks for the commentary. Keep it up, gents. World Cup hour. Sasha Papa, let's go. Springbok to the far side. They go. Argentina swamped by the Springboks 10 meters out from the line on the far side of the field. Matera trying to crawl through. Bongi Monambi has his hands on the ball, but the referee says no. It's still in possession of Argentina as they go up to the 5-meter line, just to the left of the uprights. They come swarming forward once again over the 5-meter line. Back they go now to the back line. And ferocious tackling once again. You just see ankles and elbows flying as the Springboks go in and absolutely murder every Argentine attack. Bertrano tries to go himself. He's isolated. Surely this is a penalty now to the Springboks. No. Lavanini has it at the back. Into the hands of the prop. And now it's Dwayne Vermeulen over the ball. No, says the referee. Argentina may have the possession. No advantage. They're going to try and strangle it through here. Argentina pick and go under the posts. They are 1 meter out. And the Bertrano goes over the line. And he gets the try for Argentina just to the left of the uprights as he dives over with nobody at pillar defense, using the left-hand upright as his decoy. And that is a... Did they give the try there? No.
Yeah.
Did they award the try? Yes, they did. It's a try to Bertrano, 22 points to 19 with a kick to come. Easy conversion, so it'll be a 1-point game in the end. But the Springboks will win it. And then
Yeah,
Vescus
frantic.
Genetics saying, Lekker Owens, many thanks for the stream. We do appreciate it. Thank you for listening. Watch out. We'll be doing many more things here on One World Sports Radio.
Frantic
Might have to
passage of
rename
play.
the channel. We don't know, but we'll be here. Don't worry.
Absolutely. Many opportunities to get over the try line, thwarted by resolute defense by the Springboks, but Bertrano in the end finding a gap, beating Faf de Klerk, and over he went. And there's about 5 or 6 Springboks just queuing up there, waiting to kick or to try and disrupt the kick. They don't in the end, and it is a 1-point game as South Africa win 22 points to 21 at Emirates Airline Park. It has been an absolute pleasure to bring you this game. Otto Simon, what are your final thoughts?
Yeah, so Glenn Bolton, rather sad for the Bokke. This is definitely not a World Cup winning side. Sorry, but my money is on New Zealand. Glenn, I tend to agree with you, but I will remind you that the same things were said 4 years ago. So let's see. Hopefully, New Zealand run into a buzzsaw and we get an easy win over them in the World Cup. I haven't had a look at the draw. On which side of the draw are they, David? Have you had a chance to go and look at it?
Yeah, so whoever comes first and second in their opposite group, so France and New Zealand are in the same group, Ireland, South Africa in the same group. So when it comes to cross-pool games,
so it'll be quarterfinals. Yeah.
Well, possibly in the 16, the next phase. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So after the round robin, we'll meet them in the round of 16 if we finish second and they finish first in their group, which they will. Yeah.
Ahead of France.
If France, so if France finish first in their group and we finish first in our group, we'll meet them in the round of 16,
New
right?
Zealand, yes, that's correct.
Yeah, so we might meet them in the round of 16, and then if we don't, then we'll meet them in the final. Right?
Certainly an opportunity to see them. But we will see New Zealand at Twickenham 25th of August as they finalize their preparations for Rugby World Cup. It's been an absolute pleasure to bring you this game. Thank you so much. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, ding the bell so you know when we go live. As well, you are able to support us by advertising. Email admin@1wsr.com or support us at patreon.com/OneWorldSR. From all of us at One World Sports Radio, my name is David Midgley. Otto Simon was my partner for this wonderful broadcast. We will see you next when South Africa play Argentina in Argentina. Augustine Karevi will no doubt win his 100th cap and be the first Puma to do so in the history of Argentine rugby. It's once again an absolute pleasure. Like, subscribe, ding the bell, and we'll see you very soon.
Good night. Bye-bye.